Arguably South Australia's most well-known industry, the wine industry, can be classified under two market structures: perfect competition for the grape market and monopolistic competition for the winery market. This report aims to analyze the effectiveness and evaluate the structure of these two markets by exploring the market structures, analyzing the market mechanisms and resource allocation in the markets, outcomes for market participants, and an in-depth evaluation of the chosen market structures. The market for grapes in South Australia is arguably closest to perfect competition. Some key features of perfect competition include the presence of a large number of small firms producing identical products that cannot be distinguished by consumers. Consumers have perfect knowledge of the market and producers do not advertise their product. According to Great Wine Capitals, the grape market in South Australia features over 3,250 vineyard owners, all producing identical grapes. Barriers of entry to this market are relatively minimal, with capital being a main barrier as land becomes more scarce and therefore expensive. Grape producers are price takers, meaning all producers take the price the market sets and adjust their production accordingly. Theoretically, perfect competition leads to the most efficient allocation of resources as suppliers produce at the lowest possible price and consumers purchase at the lowest possible price, maximizing social surplus. International trade for Australian wine has shifted over the last few years as a result of China's imposed tariffs of up to 212% on Australian wine in late 2020. As a result of these tariffs, Australian wine exports to China, which were previously the largest market for Australian wine, has fallen drastically. In the first quarter of 2021, exports to China were down 96% compared to the same period in the previous year. This has resulted in a significant loss of revenue for the Australian wine industry. This shift in international trade is the most likely cause for the decrease in demand seen in the graph above. Since 2021, the market has partially recovered as it found new markets to make up for the lost sales to China, namely the United States and United Kingdom. Despite this, the grape market is consistently operating at near maximum efficiency due to the nature of perfect competition and minimal government intervention. The current state of the grape market in South Australia remains stable, with the total crush of wine grapes in 2022 decreasing by 14% from 942,254 tonnes in 2021 to 805,851 tonnes. It is important to note that 2021 was a record high year for wine grape crush in South Australia, and the 2022 wine grape crush remains above the 10-year average at 759,457 tonnes. Arguably the primary resource used in the production of wine grapes is land, with South Australian vineyards occupying approximately 46,000 hectares of land. Due to improved machinery over the years, labour requirements in wine grape production have decreased, allowing producers to allocate capital to further expansion, for example, buying more land and buying more machines. Currently, the grape industry in South Australia is operating at near maximum efficiency, with resources being allocated effectively. Due to the maximization of social surplus, both producers, which are wine grape farmers, and consumers get the maximum benefit of both selling at the highest possible price and consumers purchasing at the lowest possible price. The main beneficiary of South Australian wine grapes is the many wineries that purchase them, as they receive a tax credit for using grapes grown in Australia in the production of their wine. Perfect competition has many theoretical advantages and disadvantages. On the positive side, it ensures that consumers get the best prices and highest quality products, as there is intense competition among the firms to attract customers. Moreover, the absence of entry barriers means that new firms can enter the market easily, which fosters innovation and ensures that inefficient firms exit the market. However, perfect competition has some limitations as well. For instance, the requirement of homogeneous products may limit innovation and creativity among firms. Also, the price-taking behavior of firms may discourage investment in research and development, as these smaller firms are unlikely to generate large profits. Finally, the assumption of perfect information is often unrealistic, as consumers may not have complete knowledge about prices and product quality. In conclusion, perfect competition is an ideal market structure that provides many benefits to consumers but has limitations that may impact the efficiency and innovation of firms. The market for wineries in South Australia can be classified as monopolistic competition. The key difference between monopolistic competition and perfect competition is the differentiation of goods and services. Firms classified under monopolistic competition do not produce products that are perfect substitutes for each other. Because of this product differentiation, firms have slightly increased power over the market as they are capable of charging higher prices. Firms are also able to invest in advertising, giving them slightly more control over price. Despite this key difference, both perfect competition and monopolistic competition share many aspects, notably the relatively low barriers of entry and large number of firms with low market share. According to Great Wine Capitals, there are over 680 wineries in South Australia, 200 of which are within an hour's drive from the city. These wineries produce different types of wines and utilize different winemaking techniques, making each producer unique. Unlike the grape industry, the wine industry is regulated by the government with taxes for producers of the alcoholic beverage. The graph above depicts a tax on suppliers. In Australia, the Wine Equalisation Tax, or WET, was introduced on the 1st of July 2000. The WET is designed to ensure that all wine producers, regardless of size, pay the same rate of tax on their wine. The WET rate is currently set at 29% of the wholesale value of wine. A tax credit is available for wineries and other producers who use grapes that have been grown in Australia, which is why the relationship between South Australian wine grape farmers and wineries is essential in maintaining the strength of the market and the quality of the products, as well as strengthening the greater South Australian economy. Despite the benefits of the WET, the government interference inherently makes the market less efficient, leaving a deadweight loss, meaning social surplus is not maximised. In this case, tax on wine producers leads to an inefficient allocation of resources and producer surplus being reduced. Arguably, the main resource used in wine production is labour. The production of wine requires many skilled winemakers. Time is also valuable as the fermenting process can be time-consuming, with many different types of wine taking weeks and even years to fully ferment. As previously mentioned, resource allocation in the wine industry is relatively inefficient due to government regulations. Producer surplus is cut with consumer surplus remaining the same. However, producers can choose to pass on the increase in production costs to consumers in the form of a price hike. Like perfect competition, monopolistic competition has many theoretical advantages and disadvantages. Some advantages unique to monopolistic competition include its capability to foster innovation and product differentiation. Firms are encouraged to create unique products that stand out from their competitors. Another unique advantage is that the non-price competition among firms can improve the quality of products and services, leading to increased consumer satisfaction. Despite these advantages, monopolistic competition also has some limitations. For instance, the differentiation of products can lead to increased prices for consumers as firms charge a price premium for their unique products. Moreover, the short-run economic profit earned by firms in the market can lead to inefficiencies as it encourages firms to produce more than the socially optimum level of output. In conclusion, monopolistic competition has its strengths and weaknesses. While it allows for more innovation and product differentiation, it can also lead to higher prices for consumers and inefficiencies in the long run.